Just checking a lot of stuff, new regulation. The car has less grip. It accelerates a lot faster out of the corner.
Listen, guys, everyone is making videos about Max quitting, Max's exit clause, Max is done, and honestly, I get it. The situation looks bad. But hold on, because before you lose hope, let me show you something that the doom and gloom videos are completely ignoring. Today, we're going to break down exactly why the Orange Army should not be panicking right now. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you will see Max Verstappen in a completely different light. Let's break it down all together. But before, you want more exciting news or upgrades on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. The pain is real. Okay, so let's be honest first. 2026 has been rough. Max is sitting P9 in the championship with just 12 points from 3 races. The new Red Bull Ford engine had reliability failures. Max had a DNF in China because of an ERS coolant failure. His race engineer, GP Lambise, the man who's been the voice in his ear for a decade, is leaving for McLaren. Key mechanics like John Collar and Ole Schack are also walking out the door, and on top of all of this, Max himself said, "Every day I wake up, I convince myself again many times just to stay motivated." The new 2026 regulations he has been calling Formula E on steroids, a joke, and terrible. And everywhere you look online, it is just doom and gloom content. Max quitting, exit clause activated, Red Bull falling apart. I get why the Orange Army is hurting right now. I really do. The 2025 comeback proof. But here is where I need you to stop and actually think for a second. Because this exact same story happened last year. In 2025, Red Bull was a disaster in the first half of the season. Max was completely out of title contention by August. People were saying the same things. Max is done, Red Bull is finished, it is over. And then what happened? He won 6 races in last 9 races. Monza, Baku, Austin, Las Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. 6 wins in a car that experts were calling undrivable earlier that same season. He came from nowhere and lost the championship by just 2 points to Lando Norris. Let me put that in perspective for you. 2 points. After starting the second half of the season like a man possessed, in a car that was struggling with a team that was in chaos, he nearly pulled off the greatest title comeback in Formula One history. And the scary part? Racing analysts and experts said Max was the best driver on the grid in 2025, not because of his car, but despite it. So when people tell me Max is finished, I ask them, does that sound like a finished man to you? The April window. Now here's the angle that almost nobody is talking about, and this one genuinely gives me hope. April is a completely empty month in Formula One this year because both the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix were canceled. That means Red Bull has a rare 4-week window with no race weekends, no travel, no pressure, just pure development time back at the factory. And Red Bull team boss Laurent Mekies has already confirmed they are not treating this as a transition year. He said, and I am paraphrasing here, that this team knows how to turn things around, and they fully intend to do exactly that. On top of this, the FIA has actually built catch-up rules into the 2026 regulations, which means teams that are struggling with their power unit get extra development tokens to close the gap. Red Bull qualifies for those. So think about it. 4 weeks of factory time, extra development allowances from the FIA, and a team that already proved in 2025 they can completely transform a car mid-season. The pieces are there, guys. Red Bull is quietly working, and that April window might be the moment everything starts to turn around. Max's loyalty. Okay, now this one is the most important angle in my opinion, and I really need the Orange Army to hear this. Max has an exit clause in his contract. If he is not in the top 2 of the championship by the summer break, he is legally free to walk away from Red Bull with 0 compensation. 0. He could go to Mercedes tomorrow if he wanted to. And Mercedes right now has the fastest car on the grid. But here is what is really interesting. There is not a single credible report from inside the Red Bull paddock saying Max wants to leave. His own father, Jos, said Max will just carry on. Max himself told The Times that he intends to see out his career at Red Bull. A man who has a legal escape door, the fastest team in the world knocking on his door, and he is still choosing to stay. That is not a man who has given up. That is a man who believes in what Red Bull is building. And honestly, if Max still believes in this project, then I think the Orange Army should too.
Quick fire. Now let me quickly run through some more reasons to stay hopeful, because there is actually a lot going on behind the scenes that people are missing. First, in Melbourne this year, Max started from dead last P20 and still fought his way to P6, in a struggling car against the best drivers in the world from the back of the grid. That is not a driver who is lost. That is a driver who is still very much alive. Second, the Red Bull Ford engine is brand new. Every manufacturer struggles in the first year of a new power unit. Ferrari did it, Mercedes did it, Honda did it. Red Bull will figure it out, and when they do, that engine has serious potential. Third, Verstappen Racing skipped NLS3 this weekend, and I know some fans are reading into that. The real reason is that his team is racing in the GT World Challenge at Paul Ricard. Simple scheduling. But what is interesting is that Max is using this April break to prepare for the Nürburgring 24 Hours qualifiers on April 18th and 19th. The man is not sitting at home feeling sorry for himself. He is racing, sharpening, competing. What happens next? So let me bring it all together for you. Max is struggling in 2026, yes. The car is not where it needs to be. Key people are leaving, and the new regulations have made life difficult for everyone at Red Bull. But we have seen Max do the impossible before. We saw him drag a broken car to within 2 points of a 5th world title last year. We have the April development window coming. We have Max staying loyal when he does not have to. We have a new Ford engine that will only get better. And we have a team that has already proven they can turn things around. My personal opinion? Max needs to put all of his energy and focus into Red Bull right now. Forget the outside noise. Forget the GT3 races for a moment. When Max Verstappen locks in completely, he is a different animal. We saw it in the second half of 2025. And I will leave you with this question. If Red Bull can fix just 70% of their issues before the summer break, do you think Max can still challenge for this title? Let me know in the comments.